Hi, today we are going to be talking about gaining energy versus draining energy and muscle during your workout. So, are you working out and you're having to scrape yourself up off the floor? Your legs are shaking uncontrollably. You can barely hold your water bottle or stay awake throughout the day because you worked out so good. You were sweating through your clothes. I know. The endorphins and the dopamine rush is like, yes, that was a great workout. Screw you, box of pasta that I ate for dinner last night and pint of ice cream. I know. I've been there. But actually, when we work out past our physiological max day after day after day like that, we actually aren't going towards our goal of having a healthier, stronger body. We're depleting ourselves. And you're like, wait, but it felt so good. You must be sweating, dripping every day in order to get a good workout. Not true. I thought that at one point. As a professional dancer, we push ourselves all day long past our max until we can't move. We'll still perform though, don't you worry. We will get on that stage and perform and then crawl back to our beds. And that's not sustainable. It's actually going to bring us further from our goal of living a healthier life and being able to perform better, being able to be stronger. And it's because we're draining our energy and our muscle versus gaining and building. So when we're working out, we are in a breakdown state. When we're using weights, we are breaking and not breaking, but we are tearing apart the muscle fibers, and it's during the recovery that will get filled in, and now we have a bigger muscle, right? Well, we're also causing inflammation. Cortisols are being released from the adrenals. Our leaky gut is even increasing to a bit because of the inflammation and such. So we should not be living in that place all the time. We're able to recover from it, obviously, but we're doing that day after day, and then it becomes year after year. It's not really sustainable. And when it's not sustainable, at some point, we're going to plateau, and then we may even start to decrease our abilities. And that's not what we're going for here. We're going for an ever increasing rate of human optimism. So working out is excellent, obviously, but should we be going like balls to the walls 5 to 7 days a week? Maybe not the most sustainable. So how hard should we be working out? Well, we want to be working out hard enough where an adaptation is going to be made. If you can go in and like have a conversation and think about your to-do list while you're working out, you're not working out hard enough. I would say you should have about, if you're doing a strength training workout, for example, about 2 more reps left in you before failure. We're not going to failure every time. It's a good test and metric once in a while, but during your regularly scheduled workouts, I would say have about 2 left in you. If you're too sore to work out the next day, you know you went a little too hard, because it comes down to, again, the consistency is way more important than the intensity. So if you are too sore to work out the next day and now you can only work out, say, half the amount that you normally would have, over a long period of time, you've actually worked out less than you would have. So keeping it to the point of, okay, I'm maybe a little sore and you have to do some stretching and recovery work and mobility, but you can still work out the next day. So alternating body parts is helpful in that aspect as well. You should also not have to eat so much extra that day that you end up eating way more calories than your workout actually required to replenish yourself. And now we're wondering why we're not losing weight, for example, if that was one of your goals while working out. Well, because you've overeaten, probably because you're really tired from the workout and you just need some energy to stay awake. So that's when sleep becomes really important part of the recovery. But again, okay, that was too much because this is not sustainable. After a while, if you're getting injured all the time, if you're noticing that you're getting weaker, not stronger, these are signs that your workouts are just a bit too challenging to sustain. So take a step back and realize, okay, maybe I'm going to strength train 3 or 4 days a week. I'm going to do mobility work on the other days. You have to figure out what works for you, because what's hard for you could be very different to what's hard to someone else. And that is based off your nervous system. And that's when recovery becomes so important. So our nervous system oscillates between the parasympathetic and sympathetic state, the autonomic nervous system, the one that happens on its own without us having to tell it what to do. And when we're working out, we are in a sympathetic state. We are in a stressful state. We're alert. our blood is pumping to our extremities, our heart is racing, right? That's part of the workout. Endorphins, cortisol, all these things of like stress, be aware. And then it's time to recover. If we are working out so hard in this stressful state and then going to a stressful job, having mental stress all the time, not getting enough sleep, eating inflammatory foods, well, the times that we think we're resting because we're not in the gym, we're actually still in this stressful state. So that leaves very little recovery time. Even if you're sleeping with your mouth wide open, breathing through your mouth, you're not even sleeping in a recovered state. You're still in a stressful state. So all these other aspects of your day are important when deciding how much workout in the gym can we do today compared to the other stressors that are happening around you. If you're sick, your body's a bit stressed, so maybe don't push yourself as hard that day. And again, put these into account when you're figuring out how much of my day is stressful already, what kind of workout is going to pair this. If you have a stressful day and you're working out hard, well, you best bet yourself your recovery better be just as nourishing. So you're going to do some hot and cold therapy. You're going to make sure you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet with plenty of protein. You're going to be getting at least 7 hours of sleep because we need to balance out the nervous system. And that is how we're going to create a sustainable, functional, healthy workout. So, what would be a great breathe, move, recover workout? Well, when you're breathing, first of all, if you breathe through your nose, it's going to make it more challenging, but you're going to be taking in more oxygen and getting it to your muscles more efficiently than if you were breathing through your mouth. And you're also not going to dry out your throat as much, and therefore you're not going to be losing as much water, and you're going to have a faster recovery time. Again, just try doing for example, your warm-up nasal breathing, and notice that it's a little challenging, but in the long run, again, you're going to become way more efficient. A lot of professional athletes train in breath work for this purpose, to be more efficient. Your movement, 3 or 4 days a week, do some strength training, and the other days, make sure you're still moving. Get your mobility in. Go for a row, swimming, running, biking, dancing, surfing, whatever floats your boat. You want to be moving your body, but not with the extra weights necessarily. And if you go to my blog at caseymorrow.com, I left you a nice, juicy leg workout that you can do. And most importantly, that recovery. What are you going to do to recover? Well, sleep. Number one thing, when we're sleeping, if we are able to breathe through our nose while we're sleeping and get solid, at least, again, 7 hours of sleep, that's when our body can go in and do all the repairs from the stress that happened during the day from our workout or just our day in general. And we're going to be eating plenty of food, plenty of protein throughout the day so that our body is able to have the fuel to repair itself. And this is also important for our immune system, because when we work out really hard, again, that's a stressor. If we're in a gym with a bunch of other people who may be coughing and sneezing and putting their hands all over the weights, we can totally fight it off. But if our immune system is down, we aren't able to fight these things off, and then we're not going to be able to train again once we get sick. So eating clean, whole, nutritious foods is huge. And also doing hot and cold exposure is going to be really, really good for helping decrease the inflammation and keeping the circulation moving throughout the body to start to move out any of that lactic acid that built up from your workouts. And so if any of this resonates with you, give it a try. And if you would like to work together, I love putting together workouts for clients that fits their needs, their lifestyle, and what their goals are. And that is exactly what we do at Breathe, Move, Recover. We want to balance our nervous system, connect back to nature, and be the most optimal living being that we can possibly be.